Hey, good morning, everybody. It's a gorgeous weekend here. It's Memorial Day weekend when I'm making this video. And I know everybody's so excited for the sunny weather. It sure feels good. Over the next couple weeks, I am going to highlight a few of our areas that are maturing here at our property in Morrow County, Ohio. So we bought this place. It will be 13 years this fall. And not all these were started the first year. This one was probably started the second. And this is on the west side of our house. And I'm just gonna walk along this edge because it's really interesting what has gone on here. So this is the big trees that were here when we moved in. 3 big sugar maples. And then, look at that breeze and those leaves. Wow. A really big, beautiful walnut. And then one more big, beautiful walnut over there. And we let the leaves start dropping. And I've talked about this in other videos. Just let them drop and let them lay under the trees because that's what they naturally do. And then we've planted into this in some areas, but also by creating that space of no lawn, there have been all these other plants that have seeded themselves in. So right now I'm looking at common 9-bark, and this is one that we planted in. And in the afternoon when the sun is on this area, it is hopping with all kinds of bees and wasps and flies and hornets and yellow jackets. It's really neat to see. And of course, no one bothers me when I sit right next to them because I'm not a flower. I don't have any resources for them. But then check this out. Right next to it is all of this native raspberry that seeded itself in. I'm certain it was by birds perching in the trees above and pooping out the seeds. And then they're just being fertile soil and us not mowing them off. In here on the edges, you can see there's still European grasses because we did nothing to kill the grass in any of these areas. They're just slowly fading out due to shading and competition. Goldenrods seeded themselves in here, all unaided. Look at this raspberry patch. It's extensive and the raspberries are so delicious. Oh my gosh. So here is an oak we put in. We're thinking long term. So I know that they seem tight, but the trees seem tight. Oh my gosh, there's hummingbirds zipping all around. I don't know if they'll show up on here, but we're just thinking like a forest here. And so trees get planted where they get planted, where the soil's fertile, where the squirrels drop them, and where they germinate. And so there will be death, like this redbud right here. We planted that one, and we have some redbuds that are doing fantastic. That one is not happy, so it will self-select out. Back in here, there is a happy redbud, and then underneath them right there is prickly ash. So that's host plant to the giant swallowtails. It's spreading. It is glorious. All the goldenrods and asters seeded themselves in here, as did wingstem. Some more European grasses that are still here. Silky dogwood planted herself right here. Cup plant that Steve and I planted in. Fragrant sumac that we planted in a little bit further, so they're sending out some, I'm trying to remember, are they rhizomes? And they like a lot of sun, so whether they survive here, we'll find out. There's a really great ant colony right here. This is a tulip poplar, tulip tree. Poplar's too confusing. I keep trying to train myself to say tulip tree instead. We planted that one. It's grown, I don't even know how many feet. If you can hear, which you might not pick up on here, but there are red-shouldered hawks flying all around and calling. They usually nest in the woods around here. And this is the tree that hosts the Promethea caterpillars, and we have a lot of cocoons dangling on here. Walnuts are coming up everywhere. I am just astounded. Steve and I are both astounded at the way this is filling in. Back here, that big shrub behind the tulip poplar is a tulip tree. Dang it, y'all! That is a lilac that was here when we moved in. And there are spice bush that are filling in all around it. We may someday take that lilac out, but I'm just not sure. We'll find out. It's not hurting anything over there. And there are native caterpillars that will host on it, and the birds always seem to love to hang out in there. Now check this out. This is Canada anemone. I stuck a couple plugs in here. It's a hardy native, and it is glorious, don't you think? Look at this, intermixing is happening all on their own. Now we have this baffle here because we have a hummingbird feeder there. The raccoons think that solution is delicious. But look back in here, we had a friend give us this grape honeysuckle. Oh, it's so neat. It's a sprawling shrub, kind of viney, shrub-like. We love this plant. And in here, there's also black cohosh, there's pawpaw, given to us by another friend. There is bottlebrush grass, beet grass. It truly is what they say, which is what you see is what you get. So since we've been here now for a while and we've plugged in these plants in different areas, they start seeding and then they start moving around via wind or animals or runners, and they move to where they're happy. And you just get this really fantastic blend. And look here, more European grass on the edge, but no problem. There are a lot of caterpillars that will host on European grasses. So in an area like this, that's mostly native and at the edge, we just don't worry about it. If we did, we'd be fretting a lot. I don't like to fret. I already fret about enough things. Wingstem. It's just so neat. I just really hope you all can experience this at your place. An oak tree. More wingstem. Pawpaw. And then this is the entrance back to the vernal pool. We'll do that path on another day. I'm just gonna round the bend here this way, which is kind of our little U shape in the backyard. So this is bottlebrush buckeye, and there's green-headed coneflower in here and more wingstem. I don't know, y'all. It's just really incredible when plants are happy and you decide to just manage the really horrible invasives and then plant a lot of good things and then let them move around where they want to and let them join together and form the ecological web that they have for millennia with other creatures. It just works and it just happens, and all you then have to do at that point is watch and admire and immerse yourself in it. And it changes you in very, very good ways. This is the pagoda dogwood I have featured before, just about done. I'm going to back up so you can see those tears. It's so neat. So that's the one dogwood that is alternate leaved. And remember, that farm field is not ours. They did a big burn down the other day, a chemical drying, they call it, of the wheat. They did a very good job applying. We really had no drift. This is a pod I wanted to show you before I end this video, which is very interesting, and it just goes with what I'm saying. So there's our clothesline, and we planted the redbud that's in there, and fragrant sumac, and then a shrubby St. John's wort. And you can see though, if I back up a bit, fleabane has come in, snakeroot, avens, native lettuces, and the soil is becoming more open because the shading of the of the redbud is promoting things like the asters and goldenrods that can handle these sorts of environments. Oh, I was going to show you just a couple days ago, the golden black snake flies started flying, and they love this area over here. So look at that. It's this pod that was created, started by us, but then created by nature with very little management. We used no mulch. We put nothing in there. We just let the plants do the work over time, and it has worked magnificently. Steve just mows around it, and yeah, it takes a couple years to get there. But that's okay, isn't it? It's really interesting to watch it evolve. And then the centerpiece of this area right over here is that tree. Anybody guess what it is? Let me show you a little look here up close. Some shiny leaves. No real end buds. Eventually going to have very, very dark bark. Eboniaceae family. If you guess persimmon, you are right. Okay, I'll just back you up here. The sun's going to come up on the trees, but I think this gives you a really nice view. And I cannot emphasize enough how much we did not do here. This planet's got it going on, y'all. She needs a little bit of help with those plants that suppress the rest, but then take our mighty controlling hand out of it and watch.